I know it's been quite a while, and it's so good to see you again. It's so dark in this place that I can't see your face. May we leave? Oh, I see. Does he know who I am and what once was between you and me? Do you know how I tried? Have you any idea how I tried? Not to keep you inside. Do you know, darling, how much I cried? I remember you said that you had to forget about me and be free. Do you know who I am, or have you forgotten about me?
Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well tonight. Me and Jim are here, and we're going to do a live reading of Pepper Ritter's book. We're going to start it, Don't Cry, Darlin. It's about her real life experience with elephants and background, and then other things that she has experienced over her life. So we're going to read that. We are streaming from and YouTube tonight. So these tapes will be on YouTube forever, but on Facebook they only last 30 days. So I figured I could repeat it and do it on YouTube as well. So I'm going to say hello to some people here that are logging in. Hello to everybody. Hi, Judy. Hi, RFS Tables. It's been a while since I've been on live. Well, welcome back. Any update on Pepper? I don't know. Is there any update on Pepper, Jim? I don't know. You're the one that.
She messaged me the other day. She'd been in the hospital the first month. Her blood pressure shot through the roof today. They got it back down. She got to go home. I ain't heard from her since.
Wow. All right. So, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. How are you tonight? Hi, Barbara. How are you? I'm glad to see you too. Jim, I guess RFS Table's saying good to see you, Jim. I think Jim is on the road, so he might end up going in and out, or you might hear some static in the background, or he might be eating, so just bear with him. He is an hour behind me in time, so it's his dinner time. Hi, Ron. Okay. Hi, Pamela. How are you tonight? I am doing well. As well as can be. I got some closure yesterday and finally had my dad's memorial service. So he's good. Now we're getting ready for Mom to come back. So that'll be good. All right. Oh, I hope she feels better soon. Hi, Jermaine. How are you tonight? Hi, Jane. I have not seen any updates on just Elvis. As far as I know, he's doing okay. I haven't heard anything else. I didn't really check Linda's site today, but maybe I'll check it in a little bit. Prayers for Peppers. Thanks for the update, Jim. I hope so too. I hope he's doing well. From what I understand, Jim has heard from somebody in the family or whatever, and they gave him an update saying he's doing okay. Not fabulous for an old man, but he's doing okay. Yeah. Well, it's more like his celebration of life or funeral or memorial service. It was at the VA, and it had the full flag honors, and it was very touching and very beautiful. Actually, I think I bawled for most of it. And it was just very, very emotional. Yesterday was an emotional day. Today I'm kind of an emotional too, but not as bad. But Right, it's day by day, you know, that's the way it is when you lose a loved one. I'm sure Jim knows that too. And a lot of you know that too. So, okay, so since it is not a super long chapter, but it's long enough, so I'm going to start. She begins her chapter with identifying who is Elvis Presley. I guess she's going to talk about her past. She's the same age as Elvis. Actually, I think she's older than Elvis by what, 6 months? Is that correct?
Yeah, she's 6 months older than Elvis.
Right. All right. So I had a three-way call with her a long time ago when we first started the youth group. Not the youth group. When Jim joined the group and he put me on a three-way call, and it was a great call. And I think I was on the phone with her for 3 whole hours. She's very interesting. Her story was awesome. She said it was a shocking experience. Meeting Jesse Elvis for the first time after his death, so she decides to write a book about it.
I'll tell you something else about Pepper. She's like Elvis. She's sharp-minded. She's got a good mind on her.
Right. She's very, very smart, and she's very witty. I'm not sure, age has a lot to do with it. She has her health challenges this year, but anyway, so so she is pretty old, but very funny. So, and you're gonna find that in her personality in this book. So it's basically written from her point of view. A lot of it is from her point of view, and it's not the same as like Gail Brewer Giorgio's, which is like well researched. Okay, so it's basically almost like autobiographical type of thing. She does cover with Sigmund in here. She does cover the truth about Elvis Aaron Presley in his own words, the website, the beginnings of the website. So she does cover that kind of thing. So that'll be kind of an interesting book. I covered this before on Facebook, but it does expire after 30 days. So I figured I'd do it again. All right. Jim is on his way home from his job. He works as a delivery person. So he's on his way home. So he's in his car on his phone. So, right, take it one day at a time. He passed away at right before August 1st, July 31st, and he was cremated. So we waited until yesterday to have his service. We're kind of glad it's done and it's over with. So life goes on. We do miss him, but has Pepper ever met Wanda June Hill? I don't think so.
She's talked to her.
Just talked to her? Okay. So I guess she has met her somehow, some way. I know that she
I don't think they ever met in person, but I think they've talked over the phone and stuff back a few years back.
I know she talked to Linda over the phone. I know that. And email and everything. I'm not sure if she actually got did she ever get a phone call from Jesse? Through Linda, like three-way?
Who? Pepper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, regular phone
call. It wasn't no three-way. He called her directly.
Right. Because I think she had to get like permission or something to use his book. I think she got permission to do that from him too. And he liked her book. And he told her to go ahead and he encouraged her to write this book. So when she gets an approval like that, there's nothing wrong with that.
He told her, write a book. Won't nobody believe it though.
and obviously, this book actually had me involved in my research. Was very instrumental in helping me find the right person and distinguish between Mr. Bob Joyce and actually Elvis Presley. And also, this book was very helpful in a lot of other ways. So we will be covering it. It's I think 10 or 11 chapters long. We might skip one of the chapters because it has nothing to do with the topic, but I will ask you guys before If you would be interested in me covering that chapter, I will tell you what it's about, and you guys can. I'll put a little survey out on the community here, and you guys can tell me yes or no. I think when I did it on Facebook Live, we skipped it, but we might be different on YouTube. We have different audience here, so. Good evening, Joy and Jim. How are you guys doing? We're doing good. Jim is on his way home. He's in the car and he's eating his dinner, so just bear with him.
Now
All
I'm
right.
home now. I'm just pulling in.
He's just pulling in home now, so just bear with him. All right, so I got a lot of reading to do, so I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to mute Jim's mic so the background noise doesn't overpower me. All right. And this book also does not have a PowerPoint or anything with it, but we will when we cover, let's say, the Jesse's book, or if we cover Linda Hood Sigmund's Truth or anything else, I will have some type of presentation for it. Okay, so chapter 1, who is Elvis Presley? When Julie called to invite me to dinner to watch Elvis Presley on the Milton Berle show, I asked, who is Elvis Presley? I was surprised at her enthusiasm and told her Milton Berle wasn't one of my favorite people, so I didn't watch his shows. She nearly damaged my eardrum. Oh, Pepper, you just have to come over and watch Elvis with me. In fact, if you have to ask who he is, you are in for a treat, and I don't want you to miss it. Her excitement was infectious, so I laughingly told her I would be happy to accept her invitation and I would see her after work the following Tuesday evening. It was a warm June evening in 1956. I had lived in Dallas, Big D, as we called it then, for about a year. Julie was giddy when I arrived. We ate dinner and waited for this new Memphis found talent, a 21-year-old young man from Memphis, Tennessee. He was absolutely amazing. The audience was blown away. Girls were screaming as he sang and gyrated, and I must admit, Julie and I screamed while still trying to hear him sing. Julie's brother, Bunk, enjoyed his performance as much as we did. When Elvis sang his last song, we wanted to hear more, but he didn't return to the microphone. Julie smiled and said, now you know who Elvis Presley is. I thanked her for the invite and went home. The next day, several employees talked about Elvis's performance, and already he was being chastised by some of his movements on stage. I wasn't offended by it and said that I didn't think he did anything that was considered in poor taste. About 4 months later, Julie called again. The excitement in her voice made me eager to hear what she had to say. Elvis was scheduled to perform on the Cotton Bowl on October 11, 1956. She was sure I would want to go. I excitedly told her I did. It was great looking forward to seeing him perform in the city, but the wait was difficult. It was a warm Thursday night. The stage was in the middle of a football field and the crowd was homogeneous. Elvis entered the stadium with an entourage. He sat with his feet on the front seat of a pretty red convertible. The crowd went wild. It's likely there was more noise in the Cotton Bowl that night than there was any football game played there. I don't remember the price of the ticket, but it was worth every cent. Elvis had greatness from the very beginning of his career. He had class and a boyish personality. He had sex appeal, but more than that, he had a unique voice. I didn't want the night to end. He left the stadium just as he had entered. There was so much shouting for him to return, it was almost deafening. We thought about going to the hotel where he was staying, but then we laughed about how silly we were acting. We figured there would be scads of other hopefuls thinking the same thing, and none of them would be allowed to see him. So we went home and dreamed about seeing him in person another time. It was a great memory, and I have thought about many times. I moved to Denver in 1958, Little D, as we fondly called it. Nearly 4 years later, I returned to Manhattan, Kansas, with my daughter, Jamie Lynn. She was not quite 2 years old. Sometime in April of 1977, a friend told me Elvis was on tour and would be in Missouri and Nebraska sometime in June. We were disappointed he didn't have Kansas in his schedule. Kansas City was only 2 hour drive, so we could take off work a little early and would be home around 1 in the morning. I called for tickets and was told the concert was sold out. Lincoln, Nebraska was a 2.5 hour drive, but I was told they were sold out too. We crossed our fingers when we asked for tickets on the Omaha concert. It was further and would take us about 3.5 hours, but we so wanted to be in the crowd, and I don't like crowds. In any case, I was again told it was sold out. We were terribly disappointed. I wondered how so many people heard about it before we did. I guess I was just too busy being a mama and an employee. I have since learned the shows in Nebraska were not sold out. So somebody must have lied to her about that. I don't know. He performed at the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana on June 26, 1977. I was disappointed that it wasn't televised. At least it wasn't in my little city. On August 13th, 1977, we celebrated Jamie's 17th birthday. 3 days later, Bernie, the United States Parcel Service driver, came in with shocking news that Elvis was dead. It was a terrible Tuesday. Little work was done that afternoon because the employees didn't quit talking about Elvis. I was glad that in less than 2 hours I could go home and ponder the news. My boss came into the office and loudly said, laughing, "Someone in Vegas is taking bets that Elvis is alive." He went on to say the man would pay $1 million to the person who could prove him right. I don't remember the Vegas man's name, but I remember saying, perhaps he knows something we don't. And the minute I said it, I felt very peaceful. I too had a feeling Elvis was still on this earth. Eventually, time would reveal the truth. I wished that I had more of his music, but I didn't rush out and buy any. I seldom had extra cash to use for things other than essentials. However, whenever I heard his voice and saw him on the television, I was happy. It was clear from the beginning he was a star, a special spirit put on the earth for special purpose, and I am sure he accomplished that purpose. His stage presence was genuine, and he always gave so much to his fans. I recall thinking of a performance I saw on television. He was trying to sing, but there was so much screaming and shouting that it appeared he knew he couldn't be heard. So he stopped singing and barely moved his body, and the audience increased their roaring noise. After doing this a few times, it appeared Elvis thought it funny, but at the same time, his facial expression said, "Why am I doing this? All I have to do is move my little finger and they applaud." But it was his impish personality and extraordinary talent whom we loved. It seems like we just couldn't get enough, and the more he gave, the more we expected. and now it was reported he had died of an apparent heart attack. I couldn't wrap my brain around the fact that he was actually gone from this earth. It wasn't because I didn't want him to be dead. It was more than that. I simply had a strong feeling that he had not died. I kept thinking, why? Why why did you do it this way? I thought about the concert, his concert tour, how disappointed the thousands of ticket holders would be. He was scheduled to perform in Portland, Maine on August 17th and 18th. Shows were scheduled in 8 more cities, and the tour was to end in Memphis August 27th and 28th. He had a grueling schedule. In 5 months, he had 58 shows in 50 cities. It seems to me that is pushing the body to its limits. And it wasn't just Elvis, it was band members, the singers, and whoever else needed to put on such great concerts. They all had grueling schedule. Now, however, I imagine all those engaging in working with Elvis have great memories of those days. About 2 months after Elvis's reported death, his last concert was going to be televised. I was just as excited and anxious to watch it as Julie had been in 1955 when she called to invite me to watch his performance on the Milton Berle show. It was a great show. His voice was strong, he was in control, and he belted out the words, "You won't forget me when I go." And when he sang Hurt, I got goosebumps. It was as if this song was personal meaning to him. I was so happy to hear him sing Bridge Over Troubled Waters once again. He was magnificent. I have never heard anyone sing this song as well. I think he did a very, very good job with that song. It was amazing. The words, "When you're down and out and pain is all around," were sang with such feeling that my eyes leaked. And this time, when he sang, "It's now or never," I knew it was. I was so not ready for him to begin "Can't Help Falling in Love" because I just didn't want the moment to end. He made so many introductions, my head was spinning, and it seemed like he gave out more scars than he had in other performances I had seen. He stayed on stage longer than I had seen him do in the past. He actually seemed to be enjoy shaking hands. He thrived on all the love of the crowd was showering him. It appeared he was having fun. Before he left the stage, I felt ill. I felt like my heart was on a trampoline. It was clear to me he was saying goodbye. He was telling us this was his last stage performance. I remember him saying, "Till we meet again, God bless you, adios," or something similar. He was telling us a big change was coming to all of us, but he wasn't actually saying the words. And once again, I asked, why? Why did you do it this way? I didn't know then that one day I would receive an answer. So that's the end of chapter 1. We will, in the next chapter, she will cover her real life experience and what happened. All right. All right, so now I'm going to continue with the comments. I finished with this W. Mitchell Matthews. Actually, I'll put Jim back on here now. All right. Yeah, I want to get up with Jim sometime so I can find out more about my family if he remembers me. Oh, okay. All right, I know who you are now. Well, I'm sure he'll be up sooner or later. All right. Okay, so I guess Rhonda's asking Mitchell, this W. Mitchell Matthews, how he's related to Elvis. I believe he said he's a cousin. I believe he said uh, on Gladys's side. If I remember, if this is the right person I'm thinking of. But anyway. Hi, Sandy. How are you tonight? Hi, Julianne. Hi, Nan. How are you? Hope to hear from Jesse. Must be hard for Linda not hearing nothing, and hope to go between and his wife are doing okay. Me too. We haven't heard anything about the go between in the last couple weeks. Last time I checked, the website was last Thursday, and there wasn't anything much on there. She hadn't heard from him in a while. I think she had something that SK shared. Haven't heard from SK in a while. Maybe he'll come on. I know he runs the channel Elvis Police. Hi, Mary. How are you? Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Francis. I think this is the longest time ever without hearing about him. I don't know. I think last year he went a long time too. Didn't he go like 3 or 4 months without
Yeah.
contact with Linda? But like I said, he did have the last time she had posted about him. She said the go-between told him that he was doing okay, but he was having voice problems and he couldn't call. So I don't know if it's a phone problem or if it's actually a talking voice. But as far as I know, he's doing okay. So I don't know. Hi, Eva. How are you? Elvis lives. Yes. Hello. Sorry I'm late getting on here. I hope everyone is well. Hi, Rita. We're doing well tonight. Love that song. Just so beautiful. Yeah. Like Bridge Over Troubled Water. I think also that concert that she was talking about, I mean, I could have clips of it, but he sang the song Fairy Tale even, and he said, "This is the story of my life." He wore the sundial suit, and he looked pale and very, very tired in the video. So she was talking about that, and I mean, Fairy Tale had a lot of clues in there about, you know, packing his stuff and leaving, and he was like what do you know, betrayed, and all that kind of stuff. So he also did the other song there, Unchained Melody. Day of the rapture is rumored to be Tuesday the 23rd. Does that mean the believers will meet Elvis in the heavenly realm? I have no idea, but I can tell you right now, according to the Bible, no one knows the day or the time Jesus is coming back. No one knows.
Yeah, that stuff they're talking is Tuesday's garbage.
The
Like
September
you said,
23rd. September 23rd is the is Yom Kippur, which is the Jewish New Year, and everything. But we do not know when Jesus is coming back. And as far as I know, right now, Elvis is still around. He just
yep.
lives in a different identity. And so if Jesus comes back on the 23rd, that would be awesome. I'll meet Elvis in the clouds. Oh, anyway, but no one knows the date or the time. I'm going to say after studying the Bible for a while and the years and everything, that is kind of interesting about the Jewish years, and they're at like 6,000 and whatever the date is this year coming up, and we get to 7,000 year 7,000. We're getting close. Let's just say that, as God rested on the seventh day. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know
First
anything else
off,
more.
in the first place, Joey, I said in the first place, ain't nobody walking this planet today knows how old this world actually is. They can't prove how old the world is.
Right. I guess if we go by the Jewish calendar, and the Jewish calendar dates, we don't know when it started, but anyway, they're at like year 6,000 and something, so, you know, who knows what they used for a calendar before that. Anyway, when and where was the final concert? I think she said it was in,
Rapid City, South Dakota was the last concert.
yeah. And it was a televised one. The June 26th one was a televised one. And they showed it after, like in October. I know there's some areas that Pepper Ritter has in her book, like the age of Elvis when he came out in 1954. She had him at like 21 when he was actually like 19 or something like that. But that's
Yeah.
okay. Mary says hello. Francis says hello. Rita says it's
And,
good to see you,
and,
Jim.
yeah. In 54, he was 20 years old.
Oh, okay. So maybe he was 21 then. But
Yeah. 55, he was 21. 54, he was
okay.
20. He started out in late 53s when he started out. I mean, he didn't have
Well,
Parker
that was
yet or nothing, but
54 or
he was
55.
he was he was starting in late '53, making a name for himself.
Okay. I thought it was like 54 or 55 was when he
No,
started.
he recorded that first album at My Happiness and the other side of that song in
Oh, yeah.
late '53.
Oh, yeah. That was the very first one. That was just a gift.
Yeah,
He really hit
he
it big
he
until
he, he,
54.
he, and that's in those two songs on that album. He sounded like a kid.
Hmm. And I think also it might have been the technology of the recording too.
Yeah,
Everything sounded like kind of like weird
but his
back
first
then.
big hit was "That's All Right, Mama."
Hmm. Hi, Jim and Joy. Love listening to your channel. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my channel. Jim is home. Yes, Eb.
Yeah, I'm home.
Yes, ma'am. Joy, you're correct. My grandmother was Martha Smith and my Aretha Smith from Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of Aretha Smith.
Yeah, Martha Smith was I can't remember. He said it was his grandmother or something else. Anyway. He's like second cousin or third cousin of
Yeah.
Elvis. Like you're in the same like
Well, yeah, I got family on both sides, Presley and the Smiths.
but I mean on the Smith side, I think you're like on the same like
Yeah.
anyway. You know it went on Elvis effect. Oh, I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Jim, I saw the clickbait about Lisa not being related to Priscilla by her DNA. Is that true?
That's all garbage.
That's garbage. Lisa Marie
That,
is
that
Priscilla
just like
Presley's child.
that just like last night. I seen one of them stupid Bob Joyce videos saying Billy Smith admits Elvis Presley is Bob Joyce. I said Billy Smith didn't say no such thing, you liars.
The clickbait.
That's
No,
it.
Lisa Marie is Priscilla's daughter
That's right.
and Elvis's daughter, legally by marriage. All right.
Well, I seen a video the other day of an old boy claiming all the pictures of Lisa when she was a child was him. I said, you're crazy.
And plus, I also think, Dan, that Riley looks a lot like Priscilla. So
Yeah.
I think Lisa Marie had like Priscilla's nose and maybe her lips.
Yeah, and certain times Riley looks almost identical to her mama.
Yeah. But most of the time, I see a lot of Priscilla. Like when you put Priscilla and Riley together in their pictures when they were younger, they look a lot alike. I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't have any Lisa Marie. I'm not saying or Elvis, especially in the smile. She looks a lot like Elvis.
Well, let me tell you something. That one granddaughter of Elvis's out of the twins. She's a spitting image of Elvis, and the other one's a spitting image of Gladys.
Yeah. Well, they have Lockwood's. Some of Lockwood's.
Yeah.
You know, one looks more like her father, I think, and the other one looks more like Lisa Marie. Don't know the answer, but true or false? I don't know. Anyway, I know I came on week 3 way, but can't win either. I don't know. I guess they're chatting between each other. I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about here. The thing that got me was Lisa's song called Gone. Yeah, I don't know. Do you ever ask Lisa about that song? I don't. No, I never did. Yeah. The current year, right? So it's going to be 5, 7, 8, 6 on the 23rd. So I don't know. Indianapolis, Indiana was the last concert on June 26th. It was not televised. Right. All right. I think it was recorded, though. But anyway.
Yeah, the last televised was Rapid City, though.
Oh, yeah. The televised one was where? One of his last concerts was televised or taped. He looked horrible. Looked like a Slim Fast commercial.
Him saying that. He cracked me up. He said that last few concerts, or he said that last concert in '77. He said I had to cut Trilogy from my concert. He said then I get up on stage looking like a Slim Fast commercial, and then he busted a gut laughing.
I don't know. All I know is he didn't look good. He looked tired.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of that weight he had on him was caused from them stupid steroids.
Watch the epic concert. I definitely, the minute that hits the theaters, I think it's going to hit the theaters. I'm seeing that. My husband decided we were going to go see that when it comes out. The documentary that Baz is doing, the epic concert stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of that stuff that Baz is coming out with, and it's damn good.
Yeah, and it's like real concert behind the scene and concert footage. I think like 72 and all that kind of kind of stuff. I think it's when he did that. What's it called? The planet? Was it called the planet one there? What's it called? I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, 72, 73, all those years.
Yeah.
Is Pepper still living, and how old is she? She is still living today. I think she's in the hospital, according to Jim, and she is.
No, she's home. She's home now. First of the month, she wound up in the hospital. She told me her blood pressure shot.
Yeah.
Got up to like 350 over 250 or something like that. They couldn't figure out why. She's there 2 or 3 days, and they finally got it down. They let her go home.
Right. So she's dealing with her own health challenges, but she is still alive, and I believe she is 91 now. She's like 6 months older than Elvis.
She's exactly 6 months older than he is.
Right. That's right. So if they are smart, they will go ahead, put God in the life now before their life is over. Exactly. Very, very true. All right. Anyway. That's why Heartbeat Begins as a powerful song. Yes. I'm gonna say
That's one of them first two that he did for his mama there. A side was My Happiness, and then the B side was that When Your Heartache Begins.
Yeah. Well, lucky Jim's got Elvis blood. Yeah, and believe it or not, but it's a very small amount. But Jim is related to Elvis on both sides of the family. He has his father was on from the Presley side, or
Yeah, my dad was from the Presley side. My mom was related
his
on
mom was
Gladys'
from
side.
the Smith side. And I think the way it goes, it might be on in the line somewhere. It's like one of the I don't know if it's a separate. Let's just say Elvis's great grandmother was a very busy lady and had a lot of children
Yeah,
and different
I don't,
dads. Like there
I
was
don't
five.
remember, but I don't remember how many kids she had, but she had a bunch of them.
She had like 10, and I think half of them were from one man and half were from another man. So you could be from any of
And she
those.
ne- and she
Still
never gave,
considered,
and she never gave none of them their father's name. She gave them all the Presley name.
yeah, because she's never married. Yeah,
Because
she
like
was a
Elvis, if Elvis would have got his rightful name, he'd have been a McDowell. He wouldn't have been a Presley.
she was a mistress. She never got married.
Just
Oh man,
imagine that, Joey.
huh?
Just imagine if he got his rightful name McDowell. It just wouldn't sound right, Elvis McDowell, would it?
No. Anyway, yes, Retha was my aunt. I'm sorry, I'm bad at leaving words out of my text. That's okay, no problem. I knew you're the one that was he was messaging me under a different name for some reason. That's how the name
Yeah.
connected in my brain. Yes, Jim looks like Lisa M. And the other Gladys is so true. One
Yeah.
looks like Lisa M. and the other one Gladys. Yeah. The twins. We're talking about Lisa Marie's twins.
Yeah.
Hi, Gayla. How are you tonight? The CBS television special was from Omaha, Nebraska on June 19th. Okay, good. I'm from Rapid City in South Dakota on June 21st. Thanks for giving me updates on that. But he still looked horrible. He looked horrible.
Yeah, that Rapid City one, that's where before the concert that little Indian girl gave him that some kind of medal or something from the reservation up there.
Yeah. I mean, he did mention in If I Can Dream to Larry Geller that he said he looked horrible. And I think he said to Linda that he didn't look good at all.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of that weight wasn't health problem. All that weight was in steroids that Nick and them was feeding to make him look fat.
Well, not only that, it was like water. It was like the water weight and stuff from the steroid.
Yeah.
And not going to the bathroom. Horrible. When I was at the August 1976 concert, Elvis apologized for not feeling well in case his fans feel he didn't do a good job, but he was phenomenal.
You bet you.
Yeah.
You know, he told me one time, Joy, we was talking about his last few concerts, how bad he looked. He said, I was miserable. He said, I'll just tell you, bottom line. He said, I couldn't go to the bathroom. He told me, I was full of crap.
Yeah. Yep.
He always give it 110% every time he went on stage, no matter how he felt.
Yeah. He did not look good at all. And he didn't feel that good either. He didn't feel good at all. And it was definitely called a goodbye tour for a reason.
Yeah.
And we're talking about his last year touring, yes. One thing I love Elvis Jesse is no matter how big he got, he always remained humble. Definitely.
You bet you. He never forgot where he come from, and he didn't look down on people because they was less fortunate than him.
Right.
That man loved everybody.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he was a very forgiving person. and he still
Yep.
is today. So,
That's
like,
right.
you know, you have one person that would like,
But
uh,
I will tell you this about him. He's forgiven, but people like Red West and Sonny West and Dave Hebler, he forgave them, but he just about cut all ties from them. He didn't mess with them after that.
eh, Elvis can handle very well, sick or not sick. He is a performer,
Yep.
definitely. I think that he did whatever he could as the image, you know. But as he got sicker, he knew that he had to get off. He said it in his book. He was, if he hadn't done what he did, he would have been dead within that
Well,
year.
look at his concerts when they pan out and show the audience. Thousands of people there. Wasn't no other entertainers bringing in that bigger crowd like he was.
Yeah, he was entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Love those Elvis photos you recently shared, Jim. Any more of those? Okay, so he's talking about the Elvis photos.
Yeah, I know.
I had made one into a short. I didn't make the other ones. There was a woman that went to a restaurant and saw someone eating
Was
in
a
a restaurant,
It
and
was
it looked just like
it was a
Elvis.
hotel. It was a hotel. She walked in. She saw him getting out of the car going in. She went and got her camera, went back, took two pictures. They tried to take the camera from her, and she ran from them. And then later, when Bill Big Ben was doing that Elvis File show, or whatever that show was about him being alive, they did some research on that. And that very day, it was August the 23rd of 1991. He had rented a hotel room at that hotel and was named John Burroughs.
Yeah, and it was like two pictures. One of him sitting down. I think he was trying to eat,
Yep,
and
yep.
then he
The other
realized,
one,
okay,
the, the other
yeah,
one when he's running out
recognized.
the door. If you
He
look at
ran
his
out the
right,
door.
if you look at his right hand, you can see his last three fingers. That pinky's all bent.
It actually was the way it was. His hands were like this up against the wall, whatever. And I think he
He had
was.
one. He had one outside of his face, and his
Yeah,
right hand he was pushing the door open, and you got a little clip of that finger there.
yeah. Well, you could tell. I could tell just by the look of his hands that it was him.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
gotta.
ain't many people got them old long fingers like that.
Well, not only that, but I think his hands was like
Yeah.
kind of swollen in here, and he was wearing a ring, and it looked like his fingers, like
Yeah.
and his
I'll tell
stature the same height.
I'll tell you somebody had longer fingers than Elvis did. That was his grandma Minnie Mae. Her fingers looked like candlesticks. I started laughing. I told him one time, I said, I can see your grandma reaching out when you was a kid. You run your mouth, snatch you around the neck with them long fingers.
Do
He
I
told
know
me
the channel
he,
on YouTube called Hidden Minds? No, I do not.
he told me, he said, that's why I nicknamed her Dodger. He said, because I was always having to run from her because I was in trouble.
Yeah, and she had long, long, long fingers.
Oh, yeah. Her fingers were a lot longer than
Her
Elvis's.
fingers were long. Elvis had long fingers too.
Yeah.
You know.
He got some long old thumbs, ain't
Yeah, definitely had piano fingers.
he? Yep.
He had long fingers. Okay, anyway. He looked pretty good in 76. Yeah. He was having a lot of health problems, so. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you're good. And get to see us. I don't know. We lost Jim. I'm sure he'll come back on when he's ready. Sometimes his phone disconnects us and stuff. So. Okay. Did you know that when Elvis recorded an American studio album, he did it with a head cold? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure he did. I'm sure there were days when he had that really raspy voice. I'm wondering if he did have a cold then. It's a possibility. And that Suspicious Minds almost didn't happen. It's a possibility. That was one of his favorites, best songs, though, Suspicious Minds. Do you know if Elvis is still in touch with Linda Thompson? Don't know. You don't know either, Jim. We don't know who he calls regularly, or if he calls anybody other than immediate family. One way I understand it also is that he was trying to put on weight so he could look more like, oh yeah, his body double. Yeah. And then, he revealed to Linda that the body switch man had cancer. And cancer patients usually lose weight, so believe it or not, it was kind of like defeated the purpose of gaining weight, probably. Not guitar hands. Well, he had guitar hands, but long fingers are great for pianos.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. He can play a piano a lot better than he can a guitar. He can play a piano like nobody's business. Jerry Lee Lewis ain't got shit on him when it comes to playing that piano.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis was really good at piano, and the thing is, he didn't read music; he did it by ear. That was amazing.
I'll tell you another instrument he can play: drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He looked good at 76, but said he wasn't feeling well. It's a possibility he was pretty sick with that colon problem, and he had it for a long time. Like got diagnosed with it like in the 60s, late 60s.
Well, he had that colon problem his entire life. He's born that way.
Yeah. But he probably didn't really know too much about it till like late 60s. I understand. Or it wasn't starting to give him a lot of problems till the late 60s.
I know he kept putting them off. They kept wanting to do surgery, and he kept putting it off.
Yeah. Well, the show must go on, yep.
Yeah, he wore a bulletproof vest in the last concert.
Yeah. Can you tell us a fun fact, Jim? We don't know about Elvis.
There's so many. It's hard to think of one.
Yeah. I mean, he had so many things. He did so much. I could tell you he was a prankster and he loved to laugh.
Yep.
He probably did some great pranks on people. And many other things. I know he liked to ride horses.
He liked to pray for people too.
Yeah, he was very religious and prayed with people.
Well, that's like the one story you don't hear that much, where one of his backup singers was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Myrna Smith was telling him about it. He went to her dressing room. Myrna said he got on his hands and knees and put his hands on her belly and prayed for her. This was like on a Friday. She went back to the doctor on Wednesday to see what they were going to do about this stage 3 stomach cancer she had. They run more tests on her, and the cancer had completely vanished.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has a gift of healing, that's for sure. And he was very gifted. Singing, playing the piano, guitar. I think he said he only played 3 chords, and that was it. Like he only learned 3 chords on the
guitar. He knew 3 chords on the guitar.
Yeah. But he probably learned a couple more probably as he went. But
a lot of times when you see him in concert and he's got a guitar, he's not really playing a guitar. That's James Burton and him playing the guitar. He's up there going through the motions.
He usually did a rhythm type of guitar, and I think he also was what do you want to call it? He did do some like jams and stuff, but it wasn't like really good like James Burton or his other lead guitarists.
That's
But
like that's like
he
that's
did
like
play
that's
piano very well.
that's like when he got ready to record that song Guitar Man's Jerry Reed. Wasn't none of his guitar players or anybody could play it. They had to go get old Jerry Reed. He was on a fishing trip. They went and hunted him down, got him to come into the studio and play it for him.
I think how he learned how to play the piano was at church.
Yeah.
When he was younger, he played the piano. That's how he learned how to play the piano. So, Elvis could play the drums. Interesting. Didn't know that. Yeah, he did. He played the drums. I think there might be some video of him playing drums somewhere. I can't remember where, but he had a good sense of rhythm, timing. You know, he could play the piano, he could play the guitar, he could dance, he could sing. So, drums is the rhythm, you know, and you keep track of rhythm. He was a very talented man. He still is. Yeah. They knew that Elvis played the drums, Jim.
Yeah.
Is it true? The last concert he wore a
Yeah.
bulletproof vest. From what I understand, he did.
Wasn't it? It wasn't just the last concert, the last few concerts, and I'll tell you something else he did on stage. He had a gun, two guns in his waistline, and one in each boot, because of all the death threats.
He had death threats. He was being like he was in the middle of a case with the DEA, FBI, and all that. So the mafia and everything. So yeah, he was, let's say, wore a bulletproof vest, but he also carried weapons, and everybody that was in his entourage carried weapons.
You watch that Rapid City concert where he's sitting at the piano singing how great they are. When he got his back to the camera, you can see the outline of the vest he's wearing.
Yeah. Yeah. He was scared. Very scared. I wonder why they couldn't repair his colon. Okay, so if he needed a portion of his colon removed, and he would have had what they call a colostomy bag, he did not want the image, and he could not perform on stage with a colostomy bag. How humiliating that would have been.
Yeah.
So he elected to, I guess, according to this book here and articles that Linda has on her site, he elected to have it like his colon was, they said, twisted somehow, and he needed a portion of it removed because it was causing like constipation, severe pains and constipation, and so they did a procedure to untwist it. He took the chance. He didn't want that bag. But not being the image, he could get that done. And he did get it done because he told Warner Drew Hill that he had the bag. We just don't know when he got it done.
Yeah.
But he got it done. Have you seen the interview with Joe where he talks about that photo with Elvis in 1994 from the book? Actually, no, I did not. I'm sure he came up with an excuse saying that it wasn't him and it was somebody else. Because he was still underneath the EPE contracts and obviously NDAs. Did he pretend to fake his death a few times? I don't think he did, but I know that he practiced doing something on stage once, and he had everybody upset, everybody in an uproar about it. Like he got in he did some type of thing. It was revealed in here. I read it. Yeah, he did some type of test. It was kind of like he put himself in a comatose state. Almost looked like he was almost dead when they brought him to the hospital. And a few hours later, he shows up at the hotel, knocking at their door, and he scared the bejeebus out of whoever it was. I can't remember if it was in this book, I think, or in Is Elvis Alive? But yeah. But I don't think he only faked his death once. I heard a story about that. Okay. Do you know what songs he struggled to sing? I heard Without Love I'm Nothing. It took a few days. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I know he practiced a lot. It might have took multiple takes of a song, like a lot of the movie songs and stuff. I think I listen to Elvis radio. Sometimes he does like the DJ on Elvis radio will do like the stories behind the recordings, especially his movie recordings. And there was one that took like 36 tries or something like that. I'm not quite sure if he struggled to sing it or if he just was testing different ways to sing it, because he would sing things like it sounds a lot different than the original
Or he could
recording. A
sing.
lot of covers, huh?
You know, I've heard him sing songs in Spanish. I've heard him sing songs in Italian. He could flat sing.
Yeah, and I think he practiced a lot. Like he
Yeah.
would practice, and then they did a lot of takes as well. So like I think it was I can't remember what song it was that he was talking about. He was like they went over it like 4 or 5 or like almost 25 times before it actually was the one they wanted. Like he sang it 25 times in different ways until he was like satisfied with, I like this one, let's pick this one. Or the studio picked it, or the colonel picked it, or somebody picked it for the movie. So I think this movie soundtracks might have been a little more challenging for him. You know, I mean, and actually finding the right songs, because there was a lot of songs that he would get and he didn't like. You know, Elvis was like wanted certain, things.
He was a perfectionist.
Yeah. But it was like some songs like he would like, why are they giving me this song? I don't like this song. Give me something better. You know?
Yeah.
Like to him it wasn't like a hit. Like I think there was one movie that was a flop and even the soundtrack wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Like he just was not I think his element was the rock, the blues, and gospel. And that was his element. See, if you gave him something that he could do with blues, he was good with that. But yeah. Anyway, and country as well. I still can't believe he never wrote a song. I don't think he wrote a song, but I know he was known to change words in a song to fit his meaning. Like
He
he would
did
change
get
the
the
words.
he did get the credit for writing a couple songs that he didn't write. He told that.
Mm-hmm. Like Heartbreak Hotel, he got the credits for because the writers felt sorry because he didn't have any money, and so he got like credit for that. But I think like he did change words. Like I don't know, you guys listen to, if we ever get a chance to look up John Burroughs' Dance.
Yeah.
The dance.
He,
If you listen to Garth Brooks' version of the dance and then you listen to the John Burroughs version of the dance, you'll see distinct differences in word
yeah.
choice or changing of words. Might not even be the whole thing that the actual song is sung and run, probably written by Garth Brooks, but he might have changed it or tweaked it to make it sound better or for his style. He's been known to do that. But most of his songs were commissioned. In other words, he would get the idea of what he wanted for a song. He would tell them, okay, I want a song written. I want this idea. Give them the ideas. And they wrote the songs, wrote the lyrics,
Yeah.
and the ideas. So he didn't really write a song, but he gave them ideas for a song.
Well, he tell a songwriter, "I want you to write a song." Tell him what he wanted, and then they'd write the song for him.
It's like that song, It's Now or Never. I think that song was originally an Italian. I think it was an Italian song back in the day by an artist that he really, really liked, and that Priscilla really, really liked. And he took it with him, and he said, "Okay, this is the song I like, but I want to make it more English, you know."
But he did sing. He did sing that song in Italian too.
Yeah. I guess, but from what I understand, it wasn't like a direct translation. It was kind of like a rendition in English, like, you know, kind of changed it a little bit, but not too much. And there was another one that was another song that was like the words were changed and tweaked because it was too, let's say, the original was too dirty or raunchy or whatever. So they changed it to make it more. I think it was One Night with You.
Yeah,
It used to be not One Night with You. It used to be One Night with Sin. And I think he recorded that originally, and then he recorded another one that was more, you know, a little more cleaner, you know, to fit the time period. I guess he was in trouble. He did. He played by ear.
Yep.
I understood. He said he didn't read music. He plays by ear. So
He couldn't read music. He could.
play
He couldn't read. He couldn't read music. And he couldn't write it.
No, but he could play by ear.
Yep.
And he knew the keys. Like he knew like chords, and he knew because you know he played the piano. He learned the chords eventually, so he could say, I need this in the key of D, and they would do it. And he would sing it. But he had a great ear. He could play by ear.
And we didn't get
the photo. It's an old man with a beard and not been, and he was on a holiday, and only was written because the guy wanted to make money. And I wonder how Elvis felt about Joe saying that. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. He said he was full of crap. Linda said he's full of crap too. Didn't even have a beard in the picture. I have a little snippet of here. An enhanced version of Jesse's photo here on the corner on the left. It definitely looks like Elvis to me. I should probably put a little picture next to it. Yeah. Yeah, your mother had to wear one of those colostomy bags? All right. I think he would have made a great producer. There's a big possibility he might have already produced and we didn't know it.
But then we drive back by and it says,
I don't know. I know he used to write movies. He was a ghostwriter for movies. I don't know if he ever did any producing.
blowout contest.
Jim, do you know if
Blowout.
if Jesse E did any producing?
I don't know if he ever done any producing. I do know he wrote scripts for movies.
Yeah. I'm gonna say though he might have been involved in like other things, but producing I'm not sure. Maybe music producing, like you know, for music.
We need to turn around. That's what that motherfucker.
We just saw it a little bit ago, yeah.
Songs that Jim and Joy didn't like.
There's a little girl. She probably about
Elvis singing. Let's see.
Oh, I'll tell you a song I can't stand that he sung. I hate that song. That's that damn Hound Dog.
I know you don't like Hound Dog. I do though.
I hate that song.
I'm gonna say like I'm trying to think. There's a song that I don't like by Elvis, but I don't know. There's not many songs that I mean, I think I like most of everything that Elvis sang.
And I'll
Oh,
tell you something.
I'm gonna say, okay, my least favorite. I think my least favorite song, and not because he didn't sing it well. I think it's just because it's depressing. Was Shep. Ever hear him sing Shep? It's about his dog, and he has to kill it because it's sick or dying or something. And I'm like, this is a sad song. I hate it.
And, I, and I'll tell you something else. Elvis didn't like that song Hound Dog because the first time they had him sing it, had him on the Dorsey Brothers show, and he was singing it to a damn hound dog, and it made him mad.
Yeah, I know. But I did like the version. They used to sing it differently. Like he changed it up once in a while, especially in the 70s in the concerts. I used to like that version. But I'm gonna say my favorite. I'm gonna say my favorite genre for Elvis is gospel and his blues. Love both of those. And you like his ballads? Yes, Elvis's ballads.
Yeah, one of his best gospel songs that I like is "Crying in the
In the
Chapel."
chapel. Yeah. I don't know. I love a lot of Elvis's gospel stuff.
I like all
Actually,
of his music.
yesterday, my dad's celebration of life, we played "Amazing Grace" by Elvis. My father loved Elvis, so we played "Amazing Grace." We could have done "How Great Thou Art," but I thought "Amazing Grace" fit better. But yeah, I love almost all of Elvis's stuff. I think the other song that I probably didn't like too much was "Separate Ways." Kind of depressing, you know. Other than that, I did love his version of "You've Lost a Loving Feeling." I love that version. We sing that song. And Guitar Me, not Guitar Man. Steamroller Blues. Those are like my favorite like Elvis songs. And Heartbreak Hotel, of course. I wonder if the Elvis Found Alive album, if there was outtakes. I'm gonna say probably. I don't know. They never really put them out, but
I've
it
been
could be a
ready.
possibility, huh? I'm gonna say he probably had. I'm gonna say it probably wasn't limited to just those 15 songs either. Could have been a bunch of different ones, and they picked the best ones out of them. But he did tell Linda that it was a long time since he sang, so his voice was like he didn't have the range that he used to have because it was like what do you call it? Not practiced or warmed up enough. El Somo, okay, yeah. Pieces of My Life. Reminds me of his life when he sang the songs the friends wrote for me to sing. Yes. Pieces of My Life, I think it's called. But anyway.
Oh, they can't do that.
He
They go to my
talks
head.
about the time when he pulled a joke on the colonel and he pretended to be
Were
dead.
you at? Were you dead?
Yeah, exactly. That's there was a lot of them. He pretended to be dead, but he didn't fake his death more than once. I like Hound Dog, but not when he's saying it.
Salt and pepper, Tootsie.
Yeah. I know. I kind of liked it. Like, can't remember. I have a rec. I have a. I think it was a New York. It was a New York recording, like live recording album. My mom had, and he did Hound Dog, and he did it two different ways. He did the original, like the fast way, and then he slowed it down and did like a, ain't no hound dog crying all the time, like kind of slower and kind of like a bluesy sound, and all of a sudden he speeds it up.
You are wrong. It was R. Tap. You chose. Walk out the door, not once.
I'm confused. What's wrong with singing to the dog? He just didn't like it. He thought it was Elvis thought it was horrible that he had to like only film from the waist up because he used to gyrate his hips and sing to a dog, hound dog. So he was not happy about that.
Here is one of the kitchens, but that's
How great thou art in the garden. Yes, Peace in the Valley are my favorites, I think. But Crying in the Chapel, really hard to sing very low. Yeah. 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 I just love his gospel. I don't care what song it is. I think my least favorite gospel song is I don't know. I don't really have one. I love In the Garden. That's one of my favorites too. Hi, Linway. Is that how you say it? Something like that.
you're gonna eat when it
I
goes
Love a
down.
Rainy Night by Elvis in 1981 was great. Yes, Civil Norris, I Love a Rainy Night by Elvis. Exactly. It's actually very good. Different than the original Eddie
Yeah.
Rabbit version.
He put the Eddie name when it comes.
Hmm.
He only did.
He was a great cover artist. He did a lot of covers. Very low song. JDS major Mr. Alto. Yeah. JD Sumner's was a what they call an alto. Yeah. He was very low. He was like G bass singer.
Yeah. Elvis didn't have nothing on JD. I've heard both when Elvis concert on JD and him get down low concert. Everybody started get down low.
JD was like dangerously low. He was like the bass singer. He was like one of the best bass singers I ever heard. Ever.
Y'all be in the kitchen?
I think he even outdoes Bill Gaither, and Bill Gaither's pretty low as well. You know? He didn't like it when he sang Old MacDonald. Exactly. One of those movie songs. I'm sure he hated singing it too. Probably wouldn't mind singing it to Lisa Marie, probably, but that'd be it. Jim, did you visit Graceland before Elvis faked his death? I don't know. Did you go to Elvis? Did you go to Graceland?
No.
Ever go to Graceland
No.
when Elvis was alive? No. He was
Nope.
young, you know. He was like 8 when Elvis died.
No, I was same age as Lisa when he died.
You know, 9, I mean. Yeah.
When he left.
Yeah. Well, when the image died, anyway. Love Crying in the Chapel. Return to Sender. Yeah, that's a good one. Just so many. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of Fish record, boys, and movies. Love that, man. Yeah. I get quite a bit of CDs. But I listen to like Elvis radio more in my car. But yeah. I think another favorite of mine is I hear quite often on there is Not Coming to Me Right Now. It's not coming to me. Sorry. Forget the song, the singer. Yeah. Love his music, but never seen any of his movies, but watched all the concerts. I think the movies I saw were Blue Hawaii. I absolutely loved that movie. I think Jailhouse Rock, I may have seen it a couple of times when I was a kid. Blue Hawaii, I think, is the only one I actually saw in its entirety. I'm not I don't think I've seen any other ones. I do have copies of them, but with digital nowadays, DVDs, your best bet to watch them like on digital streaming because they don't come in good now with like VHS or DVDs. Well, you could probably get them on DVD, okay, but that's all right, no problem. Love Kentucky Rain, but he didn't sing it often. Yeah, I heard that song was difficult for him to sing, so maybe that might be one of those songs that we could say could be underneath the difficulty. Could be the way it's sung or whatever. We don't know. They're cute dogs, the hound dogs. Yeah, that's Jim's least favorite song. He hates Hound Dog. I don't mind it, but he hates it. Sweet, Sweet Spirit was good. Yep. I agree.
Mom, we had the worst address ever.
Sorry to tell you when I got cut off. You talk about Bill Gates. You talk about Bill Gates, or I grew up and went to school with his boy Brad.
Oh.
Okay. No.
Well. All right.
Hi.
Did you ever meet Lisa Marie? Jim? No.
Nope.
Yes, some of the movies are on YouTube. You're right. They were on Netflix too for a while. Then I watched Blue Hawaii on Netflix. So it was kind of cool. I got only Elvis films. Really? Cool. Hi, Coral Moon. How are you tonight? I haven't seen you in a while.
Now talk about.
Have you heard Elvis sing Earth Angel? Think so.
What?
American Trilogy. Yeah, I love that song. If I Can Dream, he only sang it once. Yeah, I think that one was a really, I'm going to say, that song he sang, it was 68 on the 68 comeback special. And the thing about that song is it's an awesome song, but I think, and it was a challenge for him to sing it because it was sung in a higher range. It was very raspy when he sang it, and looked like he was struggling to sing it, but it was really, really good. I think Priscilla said that was one of his best
It was our
songs
first
that
day,
he sang.
and our
For her,
waiter
it was one of the best ones.
was very, very friendly with him.
I think You've Lost That Love and Feeling was
And-
really, really good too.
Bathroom. He went to the bathroom.
He died.
I told the waiter. I said,
American Trilogy is your favorite too?
"Write your number down."
I'm good. I'm glad you're doing good. Your friend is in the background. Why doesn't he eat his live with you? Well, all right, Carolyn. So he eats because he just got home from work and he delivers stuff all day long. So he gets home from work and now he's eating his dinner. That's the only reason. Oops, hold on. What was that?
Don't like me eating and don't watch the video.
Well, I just muted you for a minute because it's background noise. But yeah, he's just eating his dinner. That's all. He didn't do it if he could drink in the studio. No. I think If I Could Dream, he had a really hard time singing that. I think he's trained his voice a lot to sing that song. It's my opinion, but
No, you want to give it to me on the grill.
anyway.
David Michael, I will take you for the porch. You get 12 years old.
Yeah, it's been on for an hour and a half, Eb. It's been crazy. A lot of comments today, and that's okay. When Elvis heard Greengrass home on the radio, he called the station to request it played again.
That's not how
Then
you
he
talk to
recorded
me.
it, beautifully sung by him. Exactly. Green Grass Home was a really, really beautiful country song.
Beat this one low. Be like a bike and go across the neighborhood.
Elvis could sing country well too.
So it's golden water.
Have you heard him sing Early Angel? Early Angel? I don't know. I know he sang a couple songs that were about angels, but I don't remember. Okay, well, I've been on for an hour and 25 minutes now, so I think we're going to sign off. You guys have a great night. God bless you all, and I'll be back on Facebook probably Thursday night. Not sure what I'm doing yet on Thursday night yet. On Facebook, probably I'll try. Maybe I'll try as Elvis Alive. Anyway. Gotten authenticated for the information that you are giving to the public. Have you met any of Elvis's family? You're not going to starve for a few minutes. You try to
Tell her to go to hell.
Well, you know.
She don't like what I'm doing. She don't have to watch.
Okay.
Some smart ass on here.
I'm going to say to you is this information that I have is pretty authenticated if you want to look it up on this website here. I'm going to give you the website. You can look this website up and you will find all the information that you need to know about Elvis being alive on that website, including a picture and handwriting samples that are authenticated and all kinds of videos and all kinds of information about Elvis being alive, including DNA results that match his first cousins on both sides of the family. Jim is a family member, cousins on both sides, but like second or third in, depending on where he lines on the tree, and has met him in 1981 at a store with his father. Okay, so if you want that information, that is on a video on live. What do you call it? Real life encounters part 2. Okay, so I don't know if that helps you, Carol, at all on your quest to finding out more information about authenticating my information. I've read multiple books. I've read this book, and I've read this book.
I don't even remember. What did he say?
Yeah, this book, which the handwriting in here has been authenticated as his handwriting by a court-appointed graphologist. Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're welcome. God bless you too. Huh. I love it when you tell it like this. Yeah.
No, that's me, Gator. I tell it like it is. If you don't like it, then lump it. I don't give a damn. And when you want to come on in and be a smart ass like she was, she can take her ass somewhere else. You don't have to stay here and watch this video.
Okay, good night. Oh, she. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to finish with Reconsider Baby, like the first 30 seconds of the song. And you guys have a good night. God bless y'all.
Well, so long. Oh, how I hate to see you go. Well, so long, baby. Oh, how I hate to see you go. Well, the way that I would miss you, child, I guess you'll never know. said you once said love me, but now I guess you changed your mind. You said you once said love me, yeah, but now I guess you changed your mind. I'm gonna let you go ahead on home now, baby. Pray that you come back home sometime.
Good night, everybody.